a lot of the reason why I have these conversations is for the benefit of people who perhaps they have been through that, or they're going through something similar, and they're not sort of in your place. They're sort of working their way through their feelings, if you like. So you
Yeah.
made the decision to talk about it in quite a public way. How did you feel about it sort of before, and how do you feel about it now?
I was terrified. I met a guy on LinkedIn. I always give him a shout out. His name is Frank King, just like, the King of England, Frank King. And he was saying, "Hey, do you have an idea for a TEDx? I'll give you a free 30-minute consultation." And this guy just kept popping up in my feed like every day. And it got to the point where it was like, okay, I get it. Like, I'll book the call, I'll book the call. And I did, and I gave him some ideas. And of course, I saved this one for absolutely last. And he was like, shut the front door. He's like, "Oh my God." Like, well, yes, like that's it. No one is talking about this. You're going to save lives. Get this talk out there. You will get booked. I was like, okay, I can do this. I've been on stage millions of times. It's going to be hard, but it's going to get done. So the first thing I did is I sat down. I wrote the entire talk in one sitting. And then you have to make a video and you have to summarize your talk. So I did all the steps. I spent about 4 hours a day on Saturdays and Sundays just applying left and right, everywhere, everywhere, everywhere. And I had one interview for a TEDx that I think was in Holland, and then the one that I actually booked. So then you have the interview. I know you want to make sure I'm not going to be screaming, crying, horrifying people. You want to make sure I'm normal, and I am usually. And then I found out that I got booked. And again, just that pit in my stomach. I don't know if other people get this, where it's like, I have to do this and it's really important. And I honestly just can't say no. Like, the decision has been made and I just have to follow through. So then we get together and we meet everybody. We go around the room. It was a Zoom, like with the tic-tac-toe board. And my topic was by far like the most unusual. The other people were doing interesting things about their work and their life. And I kind of, mentioned my talk and the room just went silent, which I get a lot. And at the end of the talk, some of the girls wanted to give out free hugs and, "Oh, be on my podcast, be on my podcast." Like, they're all being, new best friends forever. And I just sat there like I was invisible, but I'm used to that. And then you have to meet with people. So people are going to dissect your talk, and you meet with a movement coordinator, and you have fact checkers. It's this whole process. And I told the organizer, who was absolutely amazing, I said, "Look, I only want to give this talk twice. I'll do it at the dress rehearsal and I'll do it for the event. I don't want the other participants to hear my talk until the dress rehearsal. Normally, to make sure you're memorized, you have to do it 2 or 3 times in front of the group. But I said, I don't want people talking about my talk, and I don't want people outside of the core organizers of this thing to get any intel on my talk. I want it to just drop." And they agreed to that. And I started memorizing my talk about a year ago. It was June or July. And different parts of it were very, very hard for me to get word for word. And while I'm going through this, I'm having nightmares and flashbacks and all the horrible things. The day of the dress rehearsal, I realized my fact had not been verified. And so I emailed the fact checkers. I'm like, "Hey, you never said yes. You never said no. So I'm assuming it's a yes. My fact has been approved." And they come back to me, 8 hours before the dress rehearsal, and they said, "No, we can't approve your fact. Your TEDx is not going to get approved. Your pop can't go on." Like, I've spent all this time and money, getting there. And that was like I knew something bad was going to happen when I did this, and that was it. So the 6 hours before my dress rehearsal, I'm reading through tons of like just details and stuff I really didn't need to know, trying to get this fact verified. I get it done. I show up to the dress rehearsal and I'm honestly a mess. I am just like, oh my God. But I get through it because I made sure I was bulletproof. Because after the talk that got recorded, the organizer said, "Sadia, that was perfect." So I was like, "Yay, I did it." I was scared, but I told the organizers, this is a controversial topic and some people aren't going to want me to talk about this. And I don't care what personal or professional or social consequence I suffer. I'm willing to do it. But you got to understand, I might be paranoid or I might be realistic. We don't know.
Hello, friend. Thanks for watching that clip. If you liked it, you can click the link in the description and watch the full episode.